On another Zondless episode of Zadanza, I make Sidney Davis Jr. respond to Jordan Peterson with me. And then we're going to see if Sidney knows the difference between some Bible verses and metal lyrics. Last but not least, we go back to the never-ending font of joy. You know it, folks. It's Brad Stine time again. All that and more on Zadanza. Welcome, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. It's Thursday. You know what's happening. It's Zadanza, also known tonight as Sidanza, because I got homegirl Sidney Davis Jr. with me live on set, on the virtual set. You don't understand.
We're in the same room. We are literally sitting next to each other, but we needed to use the StreamYard subscription. So
we shouldn't gaslight people like that. We're not in the same room. But you still have your cool background from last time, which is really nice. I'm glad that you remembered to get that, because I kind of forgot that we did that.
No, I literally StreamYard just saved it for me. I can't take credit for remembering that. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Thanks, StreamYard, for that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Like I said in the intro, we got some fun stuff planned for tonight. I don't know how people felt about last week, because, and not to be like that guy that talks about like views and numbers. Okay, I don't want to be that guy. I've never wanted to be that guy.
He was that guy.
This project is not about that. But we did not do as live last week, and I don't know if it was because Zod wasn't on or because we were talking about aliens, but you know what? I want it to be fun tonight. I'm trying to bring it up, so why not? Let's fucking put Jordan Peterson on the thumbnail. That'll get people clicking, right? So here we are. That's what we're doing. Isn't that great? Don't you love making content, Sydney? Isn't it awesome and not hellish at all? Like
I do. I love the constant criticism. It gives me life.
Yeah.
Gives me
keeping up with an algorithm that you don't understand and that forces you to engage in trends that you don't really want to do or care about, but you feel obligated to anyway to be successful on a platform that is full of bullshit. Anyway, sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I love criticism so much. You know, I started doing farmers markets because, like,
that's right.
I love criticism so much. There's nothing I love more than people coming up to your hard work and effort and being like, where's this other thing you don't have?
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting enough. YouTube is being really nice to me, actually. YouTube is very kind to me these days. So I needed to make up for that. And I was like, how can I get a bunch of insults? Oh, I know. Offer creative things at a farmer's market and like in real time get feedback to my face.
Yeah. I like that. That's good. I think if you want to, meet people where they're at, you should be able to feel the spit from their face as they're telling you off about how your products are inferior at the farmer's market. Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a good time. Maybe we're masochists on some level. Maybe there is something wrong with us, but hey, let's not think about the implications of that and instead look at the first super chat that we got before the show even started. Miranda Rensberger, who gave $6.66, who said, tomorrow is my birthday and I'm kicking it off with Zadanza. Happy birthday, Miranda. Please, everybody say happy birthday to Miranda. Yeah, that's very nice that I get to be included in your birthday plans.
Happy birthday, Miranda.
Early birthday plans. Yeah, happy birthday with that. And also shout out to Jason, who said, hey, Zod Nights, my wife and I are celebrating 13 years married tonight. So someone give me the cliff notes for this episode. Listen, I want you guys to lie out of your mind. I want you guys to give the biggest lies possible to Jason. If you know him, please just completely make things up. Please. Absolutely. That would make my day if you could do that.
Yes, please.
I'm going to talk to Jason tomorrow probably, and I would love for him to just have a completely different idea of what's happening on this program than what's really going on.
In the comments said that Zod and I should have a spinoff after you get canceled, and I think that's great. I think that's a great idea.
But what would you call that? Zod Sidza? That doesn't flow as well.
Szanza.
But no, see, I'm the Dan. See, and he's
But there's no D in Szanza.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. but it's not as cool as Sedanza, in my
That's
opinion. Anyway,
meow
I
meow meow
like.
meow.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's you listen. We're gonna talk about Jordan Peterson for just a second, Sydney.
Okay, my favorite person.
I know he's your favorite person. I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts, feelings,
I
impressions of
he
the
just
man?
he
Mhm.
speaks a truth that I just
Mm.
can't find anywhere else. He's unique. He's one of a kind. He's honest. He
Mm.
doesn't care about making my. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yes, he does. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he really is. Shiver asked, Dan, did Jackie inspire you to talk about JP? I've wanted to, I mean, everybody's talking about Jordan Peterson at this point. It's one of those things where, do I have anything new to contribute to the conversation? But he said some stuff recently where it's like, all right, this is good. I'll do this. He's just, I'm so tired of him. I think a lot of people were tired of him. A couple years ago, he kind of like blew up. Did I ever tell you this story? A guy came to my house. I think he was an electrician trying to fix some stuff, and like he was like going on and on about his personal opinions, which I didn't ask for. And then
Ugh.
like in the driveway, he was in the car, like trying to tell me some more stuff. And I was like, I just want to walk away because like you did the job. And he's like, yeah, it's like he was talking about like the Ukraine war. Like that's how random this conversation was. I don't care about my electrician's opinion of the Ukraine war. But he's like, yeah, it's like my mentor Jordan Peterson tells me. I was like,
Oh,
oh no.
that tells me everything I need to know about something
Like,
about a person.
uh,
It's like if
mm,
what back when I was online dating, if somebody's profile said anything about come for me if you must, Joe Rogan.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
it said anything about
No, if they like Joe Rogan in the dating profile, that's a red flag. I support you on that, Sydney.
Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, or like certain shows, like if they said anything about like Rick and Morty, I just knew
Okay,
not to ever say
I think it's a
anything to
red
them.
flag. Okay, we're going dating hot takes tonight, but I think it's a red
Yeah.
flag if you put your favorite shows. Well,
Well, if
maybe. I don't know,
it
actually.
depends.
It
It depends.
depends.
So
Yeah.
like if I put that my favorite show was Zadanza on there, I don't think that's a red flag.
That's true. That's true. Everybody puts the dance as your favorite shows on your favorite dating profiles. But no, I think
But
it's context. Like if it's
right,
eHarmony where there's like a lot of information, that makes
right,
more sense. If it's like Tinder where you got like 300 characters, that's
right,
sus to me
right. Well,
because
yes.
yeah. Yeah.
And I've never had a Joe Rogan fan not also yell in my face about why I'm wrong for not
Mhm.
being a Joe Rogan fan. It's
Right.
inevitable,
Yeah.
inevitable. They defend that man to the death.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be yelled at, so I just skip it.
Yeah. By the way, I don't dislike Rick and Morty, by the way.
I dislike people who put that in their dating profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a big
Yeah.
difference between people who watch I should say that. There's a big difference between people who watch Rick and Morty versus people who, like, it's gonna be part of their
Yeah, because
personality.
I want people. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's I don't want I want somebody with a personality, and your
Yeah,
personality shouldn't include television program. I'm
yeah,
sorry if that's a hot take or not,
yeah.
but I think you should get
Like,
more of a life. If
my entire personality is being an atheist, and I still don't
right.
mention being an atheist on the
Yeah,
like, that is
yeah,
my
that's
whole
fair.
brand.
Or I mean, but that's one where it's like you can put a little symbol or something. That's a little symbol thing because like that's important. I think your religious beliefs, right? You want people to know that
Yeah, well,
straight
I'll put,
up.
like, non-religious, but I
Or not.
don't put, like I wouldn't put, like, "I'm an atheist, and if you like God, like, don't talk to me." Like, I'll put enough stuff in there that people can infer,
Yeah.
you know?
That's fair. That's fair. Let's get mad at some stuff. You
Let's do
ready?
it. I'm ready to
Um,
get heated.
so hey, it's Pride Month. Did you know this?
I
Um,
did!
Happy Pride to
Happy
everybody.
Pride.
Jordan Peterson also knows this, and he's mad about it. Okay, he has some things to say, and this is what I mean. So Fox News, I don't even know why. Fox News was just like, "Hey, it's Pride.
Let's
We need to
talk to
get Jordan
Jordan.
Peterson's take."
You
What's
know
the
who will
what?
get a lot of hot takes? Jordan
Yeah,
Peterson.
what does the guru have to say about Pride? Right? Like that's the thing. The biggest thing that makes me mad about Jordan Peterson is they ask him about everything. Hey Jordan, what's your opinion on Ukraine? What's your opinion on Israel?
Yeah.
He's a psychologist from Canada. Like,
Well,
why are we asking this man? You know?
also though, before we watch this, is it just me, or does Jordan Peterson come across as exhausted of being Jordan Peterson? Like, the man looks tired.
Yeah.
He's
I think that's the
dehydrated.
benzos. You know, he's there. He did have it. No, you think I'm joking? He was
No,
like in a
I think you're
coma
serious.
for like a month or whatever. From like anyway, he's
He
got a
just
weird.
seems like he wishes he weren't Jordan Peterson so we wouldn't have to watch Jordan Peterson so much. Keep that in mind when we watch this and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so he has some things to say. And by the way, I just want to remind people the fact that the reason why we even know Jordan Peterson like exists, one of the first things that got him popular was because he was speaking out in Canada against a pro-trans legislation, right?
Because why did anyone ask him?
I guess because he was a college professor and he was talking about it. And I don't know, there's some other things to his story, but like that's one of the things that got him like in the news was hey,
Hate.
this college. Yeah, exactly. Like so he's been a hater for a long time, is what I'm
That's
trying to
all
say.
he does. I've never seen the man talk about things that he enjoys. I don't think he enjoys anything.
You're
I
right.
think he truly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And that makes me sad. Truly. It makes me upset for him because he
Yeah.
doesn't seem like he likes anything at all.
Yeah, and he's a hater. Let's hear his opinions on Pride Month, which I know you're so excited to hear. But again, this clip is really funny for a lot of reasons. So let's just
watch it end up being like incredibly pro Pride.
Yeah. All right. Can you hear that intro?
We're having this interview in Pride Month, and so what are my thoughts about Pride Month? Well, the first thing I would say is that you should be very careful what you name things. And Pride.
First of all, I'm sorry. I know we get flack for this because we pause and we don't always watch things. But I need to talk about this man's fit. Hold on, just a second here. I know I'm doing a fit check.
I would say is that you should be very careful.
Look at this man. Look at this man's fit. What is this? What's happening here? Cindy, can you tell me what's happening here?
It looks like a take on The Woman and the Bear.
This man is celebrating Pride more than I am right now.
It literally looks like some kind of woman and bear type situation.
I don't know what's going on. He started dressing like the Riddler like a year or two ago, and that's kind of been his shtick. Like I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we need to be careful about naming things.
Careful what you name things. And pride is not a virtue. And I've brought that up with people before, and their objection always is, well, they don't really mean pride. People are just trying to affirm their own identities.
Yes.
And
that's it. That's the answer to your question, Jordan. He's mad because people use the word pride.
But also, like, what I still don't understand what's wrong with being proud. Who cares?
Yeah. Are you proud of your country? Are you proud of your heritage?
Like, so you're proud of being gay. Who cares? That's awesome. Yeah. Good for you. Like, how does I don't understand what is. And also, have you noticed he does that thing where he'll make a statement and then he pauses because he's like waiting for your brain to like absorb. Like he's used to being like so worshipped. But look at the man. He looks like he would rather be anywhere else than in his own body.
Yeah, it's true. Imagine if someone was like, I'm proud to be black because I'm proud of my heritage. He's like, oh, well, there's the thing about pride.
Well, be careful what you call things, because are you proud or are you something else?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
I bet he covers up his screen on Zoom. I bet he's the only person who doesn't like look at his own screen on Zoom.
That's probably true. I bet that's probably true.
Fair enough, I suppose, to some degree, but that was the name that was chosen, and that's the name that stuck, and pride is a cardinal sin. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is that pride means something like stubborn refusal to change when evidence of error is accruing.
And is that what pride means?
That is literally a description of who Jordan Peterson is. What is he talking about? He literally just a refusal to change when like what is he talking about?
Yeah. What he just made that up. That's not a thing.
I'm looking it up right now.
I've never heard this description of pride.
The definition of pride is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired.
Yeah.
He's full of shit.
Was that to be it's a stubborn refusal to change your mind? No, it's not. That's that's not pride. I
And
mean, I guess
even
it can be, but like, what does
but
that have to
even
do with
this
celebrating gay people?
but even sin definition, I googled pride is a sin. Even the sin definition is an excessive love of one's own excellence. It has nothing to do with what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. I
God.
he just look, he just doesn't like gay, well, he doesn't like trans people in particular.
He doesn't like
But
anything. He's
yeah.
sad and alone, and he wears
Yeah.
weird outfits because the dry cleaners probably ruin his clothes because I don't like him.
He's king of the incels. That's his royal
Can
robes.
you imagine that's your legacy? It's just a bunch of incels being like, I've never had sex, and also Jordan Peterson rocks.
That's the problem too, because he has penetrated popular consciousness. It's not just incel,
That's all he's
but
penetrated
it's like, okay, it's like
recently.
Venn diagram. The incels are in the circle. You know what I mean? It's like they're all, I don't know, but well, you'll like it's a blatant just disguise for hatred, and it gets so much more obvious as this video goes on.
And it's not a good thing. There's a real tinge of narcissism, sexual narcissism about the whole pride spectacle. And, you know, do people have the right to express their sexuality the way they see fit? To some degree, if it's consensual and among adults, but generally among human beings with any degree of civilized comportment.
Okay, well then that answers your question. Then like again, he's answering his own questions here.
He's like having a conversation with himself.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you allowed to? Perhaps. That's
Perhaps,
interesting, Jordan. Thank
perhaps
you."
I can tell you what to do. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll allow
Also,
it.
I like how he talks like this and he accentuates his Canadian accent to make
Yeah.
himself seem better.
I feel like that's his inner Canadian voice, his inner Canadian consciousness being like, "Go, come back, Jordan. Please don't do this." You know.
I feel like he's
but-
just disassociating,
Yeah,
like
I
in
mean,
front of our very eyes.
I could be. I don't know. But yeah, he's just a huge hater.
Whatsoever. It's a pretty damn private affair. We tend to be private in our sexual conduct as a species. And so this isn't exactly.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
mean-
That's just not true. He's
Yeah.
full of shit.
Like
That's
we-
not true.
Before Pride was a thing, we have had sex in movies for so long. Like I don't
Dude,
know.
Cave drawings are people humping each other. Like
Yeah.
in Pompeii, I watched a documentary on Pompeii. There are dick drawings on the walls of Pompeii, and they look remarkably similar to modern day dick drawings, which is funny. But that's not even true. People have talked about sex and joked about sex and been open about sex. Entire communities of human beings and entire societies have been ingrained in sex. Like that's been the whole thing. He's
It's
full
true.
of shit. He
It's
doesn't
true.
know what he's talking about.
He just doesn't like the gay sex. That's
He just
it.
is mad that nobody's having sex with him. That's it. He's like, nobody talks about sex. And we're like, around you, Jordan, because you
Yeah.
dry everybody up like the Sahara Desert. So he's right. He probably
Yeah.
never hears people talk about sex because they don't want to around him. Ew.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Okay,
Gross.
but you brought up something here too, because he associates the pride movement with sex, right?
Right.
Like think about that for a second. That is a very conservative idea that it's all about sex. It's not even about love. It's not even
He-
about self-expression of identities. To them, it's just about the fucking sex. How when you've been to Pride, right? You've been to
Yes.
Pride. How many people are like talking about sex?
And
at Pride?
nobody's like,
Like,
having sex at Pride.
yeah.
Like you're not allowed to like sexually assault people at Pride. He's like, if it's consensual, that is literally Pride. That is
Sex. That's just
that is literally
yeah. But he doesn't, in his mind, it's being a gay person is all about who you have sex with. That's literally it. It's not, obviously there's more to that, right? Like there's just as
But
any
even if there
human
wasn't,
capable of
like
emotional intimacy or whatever. But yeah.
But like, even if there wasn't, even if that was the whole thing, he's still wrong about what he's saying about societies and human beings as a species being inherently sexually private. That's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wrong. That's
Yeah,
not true.
But he's a historian now too, don't you know? Anyway, we
Yeah.
have a super chat from Andrew Sword who gave $6.66. Who said, "Hey, beautiful." Oh, and hi, Sydney. You're beautiful too. Thank you for the kind donation, and for the compliment. That's very sweet.
Private. And it's also the case that identities based on something as narrow as sexual desire, let's say, aren't identities at all.
Yeah, and yeah. So there it is again. Sorry, I know I'm pausing like 10 seconds later, but yeah, that's what he thinks it is. He thinks it's about sex. That's it. He
Does
doesn't
he?
understand.
Does he think that Pride is like an orgy? Did someone like tell him that Pride is an orgy and he's just believed that for decades?
I don't know, but like he thinks that he literally thinks that you can't have a gay community. Like here, I'll run it back. He's pretty much saying that.
Private. And it's also the case that identities based on something as narrow as sexual desire, let's say, aren't identities at all. They're pronouncements of subjection to instinctual whim. And I also have a real problem with the idea of the LGBT plus, etc.
See, listen,
First of all, the narrowness of sexual desire.
he's
The
saying
man has never seen a kink community in his life.
yeah,
He's never
yeah.
been invited to participate in anything other than missionary. And even then, I don't think he's ever been invited.
Well, it's just like what do you? Obviously, these communities exist. Why are you saying they don't? Why are you saying, oh, you can't do it? You fucking can.
It's
They've
literally a
organized whole
thing.
Pride events around this, Jordan. Like, what do you mean?
Like, this is literally Pride Month, and you're saying that's this man. I think this
Listen.
man, like, I truly think sometimes people like Jordan Peterson are like, I'm exhausted. What can I say and just get people to believe? Like, how far can I push it? And people still go, yeah, that's right, without
Yeah.
thinking about it twice.
Yeah, it's true. And like, if people can identify as bronies, for example, you're interested in My
They
Little
can't,
Pony.
Dan.
Well, yeah, but they do. That's the thing. Like, there's so many.
But they can't.
There's so many kinds of identities, and so narrow. Even today, in the age of the internet. Like, first of all, like, sexual identity is not even that narrow by comparison.
No,
Also,
it's not.
It's just it's all about sex to him. That's all being gay is. It's just who you want to have sex with, and it's like there's no other nuance there.
He needs to, like, somebody needs to show him Reddit. There is literally a community for everything.
It's true. He has a Reddit. He has a Jordan Peterson subreddit, and it's about as what you think it is.
Correct. Community, because it's not a community. And it's especially not a community right now because the trans pushing, gender affirming butchers and liars primarily target young people whose most likely outcome on the sexual front is homosexuality. So
what?
Okay, so first of all,
he's just like throwing out like trigger words and not even making a full sentence.
He didn't make any fucking sense. He's saying it's especially not a community because, and then
butchers and liars
in the trans.
What
does that mean? How does that
gonna
make it
be
not
homosexuals? He's literally not making any sense. I think the man is on something.
No, but he gets a fucking Fox News spot.
Well, because
why can't I get a Fox News spot for my?
Because you make sense, Dan. Because you make sense.
I guess.
Because you make people's brain hurts by stringing together sentences that are cohesive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Disqualified.
I've seen him do better than this. He's just really bad in this clip for some reason.
I literally think he's just worn out. I haven't seen a good clip from him in a long time. And by good, I mean bad. But like, I haven't seen like a whoa clip from him in years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trans gender affirming butchers and liars are differentially destroying the youthful gay community. And that's not a community.
And that's not a community. Yeah.
Hey, who am I? Differentially destroying the community. But didn't he just say the community can't exist?
Yeah, and he corrects himself too. Watch, I'll go back. It's so funny.
The youthful gay community. And that's not a community by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a famous conservative thinker, Chesterton, and Chesterton has
I think Fox just did a cut there too, because I don't think he's making any sense. I think they're trying to make something that makes sense. So
they're just trying to hit all the like trigger words they know will like trip algorithms and get fights started in the comments.
Yeah.
A concept, the fence, and his Chesterton's fence is based on the observation.
I'll go back here because
by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a famous conservative thinker, Chesterton, and Chesterton has a concept, the fence, and his Chesterton's fence is based on the observation that if you're walking somewhere you don't understand and you come across a fence, you should probably not tear it down because you don't know what it keeps in or out. And
Because that's what
The
you
Pride
do
movement has-
when you walk by a fence is you think,
Yeah.
I'm going to tear this
Yeah.
down.
Well, this is just it's just conservatism. It's like, hey, these boundaries are here for a reason. What's the reason though? Because there are
Then
bad
ask.
reasons, right? Like,
Then I love that the two options are you either tear it down and get like eaten alive by something, or you leave it. It's like, or you could ask. You could be like,
you
hey,
could ask or
anybody
figure out.
know?
But his whole, I mean, I don't know who this fucking Chesterton character
I
he's
don't know
decided to cite
either.
because he's not even saying a full
Let me see.
name. But
Yeah,
he's it's like, okay, you could use this argument to justify literally anything. You could say, listen, we live in a monarchy, right? There's just some fences that are put up that if you start to tear them down, you know, we shouldn't be doing that. So we should still all be living under the Queen's, you know, England, I guess. Like, I don't know. How many things can you do this with?
I'm just confused at what point it became when you walk by fences, you tear them down. It's just a bad analogy. Like, it's just, I've never ever considered tearing down a fence just because it was there.
Yeah, it's very silly.
Torn down a lot of fences, and maybe some of those fences needed to go, but all of them didn't need to go. And there's plenty of
which ones, Jordan?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, also, he's talking about G.K. Chesterton, Gilbert Keith Chesterton. He was an English author, philosopher, Christian apologist, and literary and art critic. Doubt it.
Great. Sounds awesome. Yeah, he's like, okay, maybe some gay rights are okay, but not all of them are trans rights.
Can I just like translate for you all what we're hearing?
Yeah.
So, communities aren't communities because they are, but they're not. And if you have a lot of sex and you talk about it, that makes you not a community. So when you go to the community that you're a part of that's not a community, that talks about sex all the time, there's going to be a fence. Yeah. And you need to leave that fence there, but sometimes don't. But most of the time do, but sometimes don't. Because behind that fence could be a community that doesn't exist because it's not real, but sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. So tear it down, but don't, but do, but don't. Chesterton.
Yeah, basically. That's a good take so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's obviously talking about, like, you know,
what is he talking about?
Well, he's talking about like surgery on trans kids.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did not get that out of that.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, the butchers. That's what he was talking about.
That's what he's talking about. He's talking about allowing surgery for, which is like, of course he has to go there because that's like one of the more controversial parts. Because like if we go back to like 2013 or 2014 or something, then this conversation would be about letting gay people getting married. But now that the Overton window on that has kind of shifted, and now the conversation is like in conservative circles is really focused on trans people because, well, a lot of people are okay with people being gay. Oh, but people still have, you know, weird feelings about trans people. So that's kind of like the sticking point. You know?
Since when has he ever cared about the young gay community?
No, he
now
hasn't.
he's
That's the thing.
saying
It's bullshit. Yeah.
That trans butchers are out to get young gays, like he cares, like he wasn't saying that gay people shouldn't attack the young like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I know, because again, he's just taking advantage of the time. He has no real actual principles besides hating the left. That's really all he's got. So it's really sad.
Of monsters coming out to play now, and I would say that's especially true on the transgender affirming side, and that's why we're seeing this butchery in the medical community, abetted by idiot allies and driven by greed. And those aren't the worst monsters that exist.
I hate when my doctor offers me a button.
Yeah.
If you tear down enough fences, you're going to find out what they're for. Now, I read recently,
what is he talking about?
That support for gay marriage is plummeting. Right. It's like, well, keep pushing. You're going to lose everything you've gained.
Whoa, you see this right here?
What is he I'm not even being sarcastic.
First of all,
I cannot follow what he's talking about. Like, I'm concerned. He sounds like he's having a heat stroke.
So I looked this up. It's gone down by like a percentage point or two. Well, he uses the word plummeting here, which it's not. And it's still like
plummeting faster than that. Members of the Christian church.
Yeah, it's true.
So if we really want to talk about numbers that are plummeting, let's talk about how many people are exiting Christianity en masse.
Yeah, that's true. But listen to what he's saying here. He's saying, listen, gay rights, it's the popularity is plummeting, so watch out. Like, it's like it's a fucking threat, right? It's like, hey, if you keep doing allowing trans affirming care to kids, watch out, your rights might be taken away. Like
But
that is the tone of this,
but
right?
also he's like, and then he comes back to like fences, and you're like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the fence thing here is trans affirming care. He's saying if you use puberty blockers and stuff, you're tearing down fences that were
man,
meant to be there. I
I'm
think that's
impressed that you're like absorbing so much like
well, I
understandable.
have watched this video before, but
Oh,
also
there
it's
you go.
just like, I mean, what else could he be talking about, right? That's the
Literally,
only thing that makes sense. But
like all
yeah.
I can hear is him being like, monsters, fences. Here's
Yeah, I'm
this
also
and the
pausing and stuff,
fences.
which probably isn't helping. But he is also like extremely. There's a lack of coherence here. He's kind of just mixing a bunch of things together. But yeah, he was like before. He was like, yeah, it's I guess some of that stuff for the gay youth was okay, but now it's plummeting. So we
Do
gotta.
do you remember that pageant clip that went super viral like 10 years ago where the girl's like, and Africa, because in Africa, they all together, we have. Do you remember that?
I
Where
think
like she
so.
wasn't making any sense whatsoever, but she was just like stringing together words and it went viral. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, yeah. It's not great, but yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about gay people. It's only when it's convenient to him. And I don't know, he's hitting the trans stuff hard, and it's sad. But yeah, okay, yeah. But also like gay marriage is still like over 70% approval rate or whatever. So it's not even I don't even
And
know.
also, like, what does that even like? What does that even mean? It's like I don't approve. Okay,
Yeah. He doesn't approve. Okay. Well,
then don't get
do you
gay
think
married.
it's bad, Jordan? Do you think that's bad that it's plummeting? Like, what's your take? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrating that at all. That's not the point at all. But like, I'm just done with it. I don't like the flag. I think it's a piece of idiocy. I don't understand why it
I don't
changes
like
every bloody week.
rainbows.
I don't know who makes those decisions. I don't like the acronym and all the mystery surrounding it. I don't like the fact that the LGBT agenda, whatever that is, increasingly dominates the school system. I don't like the fact that it's targeted.
If you
at
don't
young
know what it
people.
is, then how can you tell me it's dominating the school system?
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, how can you have an opinion?
Meanwhile, the 10 Commandments literally have just been established as a must-have in all Louisiana public school districts as
He's
of
just
like
like,
yesterday.
I
So
don't like rainbows. I don't like acronyms that people won't explain to me. And I don't like agendas that are taking over, but also I don't know what they are, but they're taking over, but I still don't understand them.
yeah, he doesn't. Yeah,
He just doesn't like shit. He
he just
doesn't
doesn't
like
like
stuff.
stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, he's just a grumpy old man. Is really what it is. But
Like,
he gets
I
a
can
spot on Fox News for some reason.
imagine getting on Fox News because you just want to talk about stuff that like nobody's explained to you and you're upset about.
Yeah, Zach gave $5 and said the virgin birth means that Jesus is trans. So what is the deal? I'm not sure if I follow that. Maybe you can explain that. What does that mean that Jesus is trans because it's a virgin birth? Do you understand that? I don't
I
understand.
don't, but you know what? I'm going to take a page out of Jordan Peterson's book and say, and because I don't get it, I don't like it. And I'm going to go on and talk about how I don't like it, even though I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I would love an explanation, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what that means there. But yeah, yeah, you're right though. This is the guy who will like come up with psychological theories about why the Bible says what it does and will do some weird esoteric fucking Jungian shit, but he can't like Google LGBTQ plus like what it means. Like I don't
I'm
believe it. He's just a hater.
I'm 1,000% sure whenever he orders a coffee, he like holds the barista hostage, like talking to her about this shit, and she just has to stand there and go, "Oh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm," while another barista like takes over the other register, so the rest of the people in line can check out, and like he just gets to like monopolize her time by not
Yeah.
making any sense.
Okay, people are saying Mary is a woman and only has XX chromosomes. So where did Jesus get his Y chromosomes?
Oh,
That's
okay.
what. Okay, I get that now. I get that now. I get that. I didn't
See how
understand.
easy that was
Yeah,
to
I
just
know.
ask what that means and
If
find
only
out.
if you just ask fucking people what they think. LHRPG official gave $5 and said, "I used to think Jordan Peterson was a genius. Then I heard his opinion on religion and LGBT rights. Thanks for going live tonight, Dan. I needed this. You are welcome because I think this is where Jordan Peterson traps people because he really has these really long sort of elaborate theses on like the Bible and stuff. He talks about Dostoevsky, right? He these things that are intellectual, but like he's just repeating stuff that other people have talked about. Really, it's not
And
like
he's
he
not
has
even
original research in this or
he's
anything.
not even making sense either. He's not
Yeah.
even like coming up with he's not even presenting these ideas as his own. He's just like stringing words together that he thinks he remembers like skimming once and then being like, "Oh, this will trigger the libs." For sure.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten more like that even more recently, but he used to have some semblance of still being a college professor. Now I don't know. He's just like a political guy now, which is unfortunate.
He's
But
just he's a
So
thought
I think
leader.
yeah, he really is though. That's what's sad. Like he's probably one of the most requested public speakers in the world. Like I
Ew.
wouldn't even doubt that. So very sad.
the surgery, the gender affirming care movement, I think it is Nazi Auschwitz level awful. That it should not only stop, and now, as they've decided to do in the UK and in most places in Europe, but I think all the people that were involved.
Didn't he just, and
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but in the beginning he said that communities were valid if they were consensual. And he said
Yeah.
that like relationships and decisions that involve like gender and sexuality
Yeah.
should be consensual.
Yeah.
And now he's saying that like consensual surgery people want that's
Yeah.
gender reaffirming is Nazi shit
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, at what
That is
point
what he
was the
said.
Holocaust consensual? It was not.
Yeah. Well, like first of all, again, it's not like Jordan Peterson like gives a shit about the Holocaust either. Again, it's just using it as a fucking talking point.
He just
Like it's
knows
just
he knows the algorithms will pick up these words and like they'll make sound bites.
yeah, I don't know. It's so cynical at this point, honestly. I don't know what the man's thinking, but I think he's just so deeply involved in his own hate that he's willing to say shit like this.
I
And
don't think he knows.
I'd be surprised if he's even had a conversation with a trans person, like ever.
No, he
'Cause I
he
don't.
probably thinks you can like catch it and he doesn't want it. He
Yeah.
probably like his whole entire existence is so misinformed. He probably has no idea what it even means.
Somebody asked, does engaged Mr. Jan have a wedding Amazon registry? I don't, but now I'm wondering if I should have that. That might be an interesting idea. But then that'd feel weird. I don't know. You guys don't need to contribute to that. That's fine.
I'll
That's
set one
my
up and I'll
life.
secretly send it to them.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Well, let's finish that because we got some other stuff I want to talk about too.
Involved in the surgical transition of minors should be imprisoned. So there's a lot of house cleaning to do on the pride side of things. And I don't believe that a celebration of an identity that encapsulates something like 3% of the population before it became a fad is inclusive in any manner whatsoever. So
celebrating a small part of the population is not inclusive, Dan.
Can you imagine that? The trans community is not conclusive. That's Jordan Peterson's take.
It's only inclusive if it applies to everyone. If it applies to less people, that's not inclusivity.
Yeah. you can't celebrate 3% of a population because they're not inclusive. Jordan needs to be involved. If he's not invited to the party, then you can't have a party, guys. Okay.
That's just it's wild to me. I really think he's just trolling everyone at this point.
So sad. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crybaby shit. It's ridiculous.
Pretty much all of it's a lie. And it's a dangerous lie. And it's a lie with real monsters hovering on the edges. And so, and like, enough, as far as I'm concerned. Enough pride in the churches, enough pride in the bloody banks. I don't want to walk into the Bank of Nova Scotia and be celebrating pride. It's like I want to go and put my money in or take my money out without any political idiocy and without any celebration of sexuality. I don't know what the hell the banks think they're doing.
Yeah.
And the churches, well, that's just for the churches to be flying pride flags. It's like pride is the cardinal Christian sin. Right. So what the hell? What's going on with the flags exactly? What exactly are you celebrating here?
Now he's asking. Thank you, Jordan.
Tolerance of vice is not a virtue, and pride is a vice.
Okay, if you still have trouble understanding what they're celebrating, I don't know what to tell you because you're a grown ass fucking man. You have access to a fucking internet connection, and you're a professor, or were a professor, and have
But he
lectured across the world.
want to.
You should be able to figure it the fuck out, right?
But he's gonna
But
go on Google, and Google's gonna have a pride flag in its
well,
letters, and he
he's
hates
saying
that.
he's saying it's malicious. He's saying there has to be undertones to it that have to be self-serving, because Jordan Peterson is ultimately a self-serving person, and everything he does is for his own benefit. So the gay people must be doing it for their own benefit too. My goodness, you know.
This
Uh,
is this is an impression of Jordan Peterson having a really delicious cup of coffee in the morning.
it's terrible.
I don't like it. I don't know why. I have big feelings. It's like, Jordan, do you want to take a nap? No.
In the Bible, Adam and Eve were kicked out for eating of the fruit of knowledge, and this coffee is kind of like that, because it gives us this kind of, demonic focus that isn't really godly in any way.
It
So
has honey in it, and honey comes from the asses of trans bees. And I don't like it. And I'm confused. And instead of asking, I'm just going to be upset because I'm rich
Yeah.
now and you guys will just let me.
yeah, it's it's so bad.
I just
We have
love how
another
he like, oh,
other super chat from Aliyah Silverbow gave $5. She said, "I'm so glad Sydney is here tonight to make Jordan Peterson's BS more tolerable. I'm glad."
you
Sydney's
know it's
here.
bad when I'm the tolerable one. You know it's bad.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's not
I'm
great.
gonna
But
put that on my website. Sydney, more tolerable than Jordan Peterson.
that's a good good little
tagline.
talking point, I think. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's get to some more funny stuff. So this was recommended to me by my lovely fiance. She found this and thought it would be a good thing for you and me to do, Sydney.
Oh gosh.
Which is a little BuzzFeed quiz, which I know sounds kind of tacky, but it's actually pretty funny. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know about the copyright stuff, but this is interesting because I took the test. There's 16 questions. I got 4 of them wrong. So let's see if you can beat my score on this. Okay, this is a game of heavy metal lyrics or Bible verse. Let's see. I'm going to make the screen just a little bit bigger. There we go. And let's see if you can do this. All right, you guys ready? And I want you guys at home to play along here too, because this is going to be fun for all the family at home. So here we go. First one, heavy metal lyric or Bible verse. If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the flood of the slain and of the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges on the enemy. It's a big long one. What do you think?
I
of
think
this?
it's a metal lyric.
You think it's a metal lyric?
I think it's metal
You're
lyrics.
wrong.
Whoa.
Is Deuteronomy 32, 41 through 42.
It was the
there.
use of wet that I had never heard in the Bible otherwise.
And most people guess the Bible. You're right. And they're going to be using the King James version of the Bible, I've noticed, for I think all of these. So okay. Chat was spot on. Chat pretty much called it. So good job, chat. You guys won a cookie. You got one on Sydney, actually.
That's true.
So
this one is the Bible though.
This one, okay, yeah. So, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men in your hills and in your valleys and in all your rivers. They fall that
they're
are
always talking about sex. They're always talking about sex. These gays. Look at this shit.
I will make you perpetual desolations, and your cities shall not return, and you shall know that I am the Lord. So you think this is the Bible?
This is the Bible for sure.
You're right. That's Ezekiel 35,
yes,
8 through 9. Very good. Very good on that one. Here's the next one. Their slain shall be cast. So, I can't read today. What the heck? Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stench shall rise up out of their corpses, and their mountains shall be melted with their blood. Heavy metal or Bible?
I think it's the Bible.
I think it's the Bible. It is right. That's Isaiah 34:3. So, okay, you're 2-1 right now. So pretty good. Next question 4. The sky is turning red. Return to power draws near. Fall into me the sky's crimson tears. Abolish the rules made of stone.
That's the metal. That's a metal song.
I think, yeah, that's metal too. Yep. Slayer.
I was gonna say, I think it's Slayer. Yeah, that's funny.
Slayer song, baby.
In the chat, has anyone ever been to see Pig Destroyer live? Because I saw Pig Destroyer and nobody ever knows what I'm talking about, and I feel like a lot more people know who they are than the reaction I get when I ask people if they've seen Pig Destroyer.
I've never even heard that band, Pig Destroyer.
Yeah, I had to take a mouth guard. It was crazy. It's one of the first metal concerts I ever went to.
Here to organize chat a bit. Put the question number in front first, so I know which one you're guessing for. So this one's number 5. So put 5 first for your guess on this one. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
That's the Bible.
That is the Bible.
That's talking about hell.
It is. That's Revelation 9:6. Yeah.
I was gonna say, your girl knows Revelations. I grew up Baptist.
I recognize it was Revelation verse 2 when I took it. I was like, yep, that's Revelation.
I remember a threat I've been given when I hear one.
That's right. It's true. All right, this one's 6. Number 6. I can feel it burn inside of me, tormented young with no souls, haunting me. Pain in their lives, all they know is misery. Take these chains away that are holding me down.
Metal.
Yeah, this one's kind of easy. It is definitely a metal. It's Avenged Sevenfold.
The Chains gave it away.
Rest. I think it's the first person use too as well. There is some first person use in the Bible, but it's not often. So
this one's metal too.
Okay. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. So you say metal. That's the final answer?
Yeah.
You are wrong, Sydney. This is Job.
Job talks about dragons?
So again, this is King James Version, right? This one threw me off too, because the only time I knew about dragons in the Bible was at the end of the book of Daniel. There's actually Apocrypha. There's actually extra chapters of the book of Daniel where Daniel talks to a dragon, which is kind of crazy. But
that you now need to do a show called Daniel Talks to a Dragon.
That would be pretty cool.
And then interview Jordan Peterson.
In other translations, they use the word jackals for that instead of dragons.
Oh, well, see, that's different then. If I
know,
jackals,
right? It's kind of crazy.
Cheating.
This is like the same thing where it's like other places in the King James Bible also use the word unicorn, right? But like when they're talking about like just like horns,
because they're the gays always talking about sex all the time.
Yeah, it's really supposed to be like I couldn't tell you the etymology of the like original translation and stuff, but like that the dragon thing did throw me off for sure.
Yeah, that like the only reason I guessed it wasn't the Bible is because the Bible doesn't talk about dragons.
Logan said, "Someone give me that verse for that dragon one." That is Job chapter 30, I believe.
Give me some of that sweet dragon verse.
Yeah, I think it's Job chapter 30. You'll have to find the individual verse.
Can you imagine? Like, I would have been a Christian so much longer if all the versions had dragons in them.
Yeah. Again, people say, "Oh, we're cringy for calling the book, fantasy," but the Bible, that one of the most popular versions of that Bible in the world, fucking talks about dragons. So who's talking about fucking fantasy? Yeah,
it's fiction. Like, I literally just finished my degree in creative nonfiction, and I can tell you it is fiction 100%.
Yeah,
it's all made up.
Yeah. No, most of it's.
But it's got real places in it.
Got real places. Yeah. It's all.
There's a lot of.
All right, here's the next one. Was this 8? I think this is 8. Killing scores with demon swords. Now is the death of doers of wrong. Swing the judgment hammer down safely inside armor, blood, guts, and sweat.
Metal.
Yeah. This was definitely metal. That's Metallica, the 4 Horsemen. So, I think that one was kind of easy. But again, there's some in here that are kind of tricky. I hope you know this one. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
As much as I want that to be metal lyrics, and I hope it is, I think this one's referencing the Bible.
100% the Bible. As soon as I saw it, and I looked, and behold, the pale horse, that's the Bible.
I feel like unto is always the Bible.
Yeah, Revelation. It's always the Revelation verses that stick out.
I'm telling you, Revelations is scary as fuck. The first time that I ever told Vince about Revelations, he didn't believe me. He thought I was just messing with him. He thought I was just making shit up.
I know.
He wasn't religious growing up.
It's a pretty fucked book, honestly.
He was
Probably
like, nobody believes that.
maybe the most fucked book in the Bible, I would say. It's a contender.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's pretty bad. I
Genesis
think.
doesn't get enough shit for how fucked up that book is.
Genesis is pretty fucked up too, but yeah. Anyway, this will be a debate that never ends. This is number 10. So, daughter Babylon, doomed to destruction. Happy is the one who repays you according to what you have done to us. Happy is the one who seizes your infants and dashes them against the rocks.
Oh, that's the Bible. Killing babies
100%.
for
That's
sure.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Yep. Dead babies.
Metal would never talk about dead babies.
It's the dashing them against the rocks. Like
Yeah.
I know that because that's like a popular one that atheists talk about, but also like you're talking about Babylon, specifically saying daughter Babylon. That's some Bible shit.
I've also just never heard any metal band be like, you know what would make the song better? Bashing babies against the rock.
They exist though. They have to exist,
Do
right?
they?
It's probably out there.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure they do. It's Psalm 137 for those who want to know about that one. Here is number 11. He has bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary and slew all that were pleasant to the eye. In the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion, he poured out his fury like fire.
It's the Bible.
Yeah, 100%, right? That is the Biblioteca. Yeah.
Lamentations. That's the one I haven't heard from in a while.
You want to hear about Lamentations because
really
it's kind of it's prophecy and I don't know. You don't get much out of it. It's a guy talking about his situation.
People be sleeping on Lamentations.
Yeah, it's just a sad guy talking about how everybody's gonna die, and he wears sack clothing and stuff. It's not great. I think this is 13 or 12. I lost count. What are we on?
I think we're on 12.
That's saying 12, but I think it's 13, right? Am I crazy? Maybe it's 12. All right, let's just say 12. In great souls condemned for all eternity, obtained by immoral observance, a domineering deity.
Metal.
Yeah, definitely. Has to be metal. This is
the Bible would never call God domineering.
South of Heaven. So there you go. Yeah, domineering, I think.
South of Heaven. That sounds like a band I would like.
Well, it's a song by Slayer, so I don't know.
Oh, by Slayer. I thought South of Heaven was the group name.
Yeah, that's the song. Yeah, domineering stuck out to me too. So part your heavens, Lord, and come down, touch the mountains so that they smoke. Send forth lightning and scatter the enemy. Shoot your arrows and root them.
The Bible.
Yeah, that's the Bible.
I feel like metal wouldn't want to like summon God.
Yeah, although there is some God imagery.
Metal.
Sure, yeah. There's God imagery in usually negative.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think they'd like want him to show up in metal.
Sure. Yeah. You didn't get so far. I think you've only gotten 2 wrong. So that's pretty good. Here now.
2 wrong? Oh.
Yeah, you got wasn't there one early on you got wrong? You got the dragon
the first one I got wrong. Oh, that's right, the dragon.
And the dragon,
right. The dragon was the second
one. Here now the story of the man that should not be, a ghoul of blackened torment, sullen atrocity, a kindred soul to the devil's own, malignance personified. Cast from his fire, he molests the purest light.
This is metal.
Yeah, it's metal. I think for me it was the rhyming. You kind of rhymed there a little bit.
Which, the cadence.
Makes the song. Iced Earth, vengeance is mine. Don't know that band, but sounds pretty cool, I guess. Here's 14 now. Searching for the I lost track. Searching for the answer, Christ hasn't come, awaiting the final moment, the birth of Satan's son.
Metal.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Yeah, that's also Slayer, the Antichrist.
Damn,
I don't even know why you think otherwise.
Listen to that more often.
Yeah, a lot of Slayer in here, huh? Okay, I think this is the last one, 16. And in the darkness, shining far beyond the starlight, lightning is striking from the dark dawning shadows. And in the kingdom of the everlasting sun, when the glory of the master's time has come.
That's the Bible.
You're wrong. It's Dragon Force.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
That's Dragon Force right there. Yeah.
They got me because it was too positive about God, I felt like, to be metal.
Yeah.
Maybe I just read it wrong. Interesting.
That last one was a hard one.
That was a
hard one. Yeah. But
Color
good
me
job.
shocked.
13 out of 16, you got more than I did. I missed, and you know what? We missed the same ones. And the one that I got wrong was the Ezekiel one. And the reason why is because I thought, so I got it confused because there's a very famous, you've seen Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So Pulp Fiction uses a fake Bible verse, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's not real.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't even remember the
You know, where he's like,
context.
and you shall know my name is the Lord when I smite my vengeance. Yeah, that's not actually the
Oh,
Bible. But
interesting.
it's a more dramatized version of that Ezekiel verse. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. There's some fun Pulp Fiction
I wonder
Pulp
how many
Fiction
people like
trivia.
think that's a real Bible verse.
Oh, I definitely did.
Yeah.
Um
I'm curious, like how many people still don't know it's fake.
it contributes to the, you know, all Quentin Tarantino movies are in the same universe sort of thing, because even the Bible's different, right?
That's
You
funny.
know, it's yeah. Anyway, so that I thought that was fun.
I would read the Bible adapted by Quentin Tarantino. I would read that. If it's like King James Tarantino, like I would read his version. As long as
That
there's
would
no
be
like
pretty cool.
feet pics in it. I don't want any of that shit.
There's 100% gonna be feet stuff in there. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
you know
but
there is. Yeah,
you
there
know there
is.
is. It's gotta be a thing. Okay, so that was pretty good. 13 out of 16, not bad, Sydney. I'd say that's probably above average.
Let's see. Let me
You
look
know,
at what grade that would be.
yeah. You should do the calculation. What is that? Because
That's an 81%. So I got a B.
oh, there you go. Yeah, see, you did better than me because I missed, like I said, I missed that Ezekiel one. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was like I thought it was also doing a riff off of that verse, I guess, but it's not. That was the original. So anyway, I was being silly. So that's done, and that was fun, and I thought that was good. But you know what, Sydney, I've been talking about this guy recently, um, a lot
Okay.
on this stream.
Okay.
I don't know, to the chagrin of viewers or to the benefit, but Zod's not here, so he can't stop me. I want to talk about Brad Stine again. Do you
Okay.
know? I know I've talked to you about Brad Stine. Do
We've
you
talked
remember
about
who Brad Stine is?
we've talked about Brad Stine, but I don't
Yeah.
remember what the context was. I'm sure it's going to be horrible.
I didn't know
Oh,
who
wait.
Brad Stine was. Yeah?
You
You
did
remember?
you sent me this video, right?
I don't
Or
think I sent
no?
you this one. I think I
No,
sent
not
you a different one.
I was going to say you've definitely sent me videos before.
I have, because I wanted you to come on in the past. Or I thought maybe if we were going to do a guest spot with you back on, I wanted you to talk about Brad Stine because, in case folks who don't know, Sidney Davis Jr. has had a career as a stand-up comedian, like legit. That's
Yeah.
you know, on stage doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be funny because Brad Stine is allegedly a comedian, and
Allegedly.
you know, I
Allegedly.
want to get your takes. I want to get your comedian takes. I want to, and just your
Okay.
general sense of life takes.
I feel like this is going to spike my blood pressure.
We're talking about haters tonight. Brad Stine is the ultimate hater because he's talking about like gender shit. This was like 2007.
Brad Stine is
Or
going to turn me into Jordan Peterson
it,
with all the hatred.
I listen. I didn't know who he was. Zod showed me the light of Brad Stine, and there's something about this man that just gets me going. Listen to me, Sydney. It's Pride Month, okay? So I can
Talking
say
about
shit like that.
sex. The heathen's always
This
talking about
this
sex.
guy right here, he gets my blood pumping, but in the funniest way possible. I
Okay.
cannot stand that this man has lived his entire life as ignorant as he is, but has also managed to find like, you know, some level of success. Like, look, not everybody gets a fucking stand up. This is like a DVD recording or whatever of a stand up, but like, you know, that's a very lucky thing,
Yeah.
right? In comedy to have that opportunity. And he
Yeah.
just sucks at it so fucking hard. I'm just like, there's so many other people that could have gotten in the position you got, but because you're a Christian, you know, you got your little niche, I guess. But
There's
yeah.
a current company, Dry Bar, that does clean comedy specials, and a lot of the comedy specials they do are Christian comedy as well.
Oh God, really? They
Yeah,
still
it's like a
do
whole
that
thing. Yeah,
in the
they
year
still
of
do
our Lord,
yeah,
2024?
they
That's the
do
thing?
Dry Bar
Okay.
specials, so most
Yeah,
of it's
okay.
clean comedy, but a lot of it's Christian
Listen,
comedy.
Brad, and you know, Brad, we've talked about this. Brad complains that, oh, they didn't want a Christian comedian on TV and stuff. Motherfucker, if they're
Oh,
doing it at the
stop.
local, if they're doing it at the local fucking comedy club, you could do it too. You're just too lazy. That's my take. But
Stop.
anyway,
What
I
a
love hating on Brad
crock
Stine.
of shit.
I'm 100%. Listen, I'm a hater for Brad Stine. I love hating on this man. It just fills me with joy because he's so bad. He's so bad. His takes are bad, and he sucks at comedy. So we've seen some really
Oh,
bad.
he has a Dry Bar special. I just Googled it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
Hell
knew
yeah.
it.
Of
I
course he
knew it.
does. Listen, so he like again, his takes are bad and his comedy really sucks. And this is also just another really great example of it. So I want us to watch this together.
Oh,
You
I
ready
know
for
this
this?
is gonna ruin my day, but
It's gonna
I'm
be
ready.
awesome. Okay, this
I'm
is a bit.
ready.
This is on his channel because yeah, Brad Stine has issues. That's the name of his channel. Isn't that great? So he's
I mean, at
uploading.
least he's self-aware.
Yeah, I know, right? He's uploading old clips of himself. So the title of this is "Why No One Was Confused About Gender When I Grew Up." All right,
Oh boy,
so
can't wait.
let's do it.
We're the ones that should be telling our kids the differences because I know that men and women are different physically because I had a big sister.
Yeah,
And one Christmas came and she got a girl's bike and I got a boy's bike.
yeah.
Do they still do it like that? I don't know. But let me tell you what.
So tell me what you think when he means when he says girls bike and boys bike.
Like,
Because I
I'm
don't
sure
think.
one was blue and the other was pink.
Okay, see, that's what I thought too. Right? That's
Or
your
like,
instinct, right? He means
or
like
one has like the seat for.
there it is. Okay, see, that
I
didn't
only
come to
know
me at
that
first.
because man, I hurt myself when I was a kid riding the wrong bike.
Really?
I
Okay.
did.
So, okay, I guess maybe I didn't ride enough bikes as a kid. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yes, they
Different, like,
do have nut-friendly bike seats.
that's crazy.
hmm
You want to see a comedy bit about it?
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
It used to be like a girl's bike was a bike just like mine, except it had a big slot right through the middle so she could just hop right on. Boy's bike, on the other hand, had an iron bar that started right from under your seat, went directly here, and was welded right there. And the first time you took it out there and your feet slipped off the pedals, you knew you were a boy.
Isn't that great, Sydney?
That is
Isn't that really cool?
so. That's so. Let me say this.
Yeah.
That bit, I
Yeah.
actually thought was kind of funny.
Okay,
But
that's the best that this video gets.
exactly.
By the way,
I know that
it only gets worse from here. So
we're gonna find it funny for totally different reasons.
yeah,
Like, oh, he hit his nuts. That's funny. That's like that. It's not even peak comedy. Like, I'm not over here like pissing myself, but like, I get it. I see but I know it's gonna get worse. And also, he's doing this thing that a lot of people don't know comedians do called, and I think dancers do it too, called hairography, where if you have hair in your face and you move it around as much as possible, it gets like mistaken for being a really good dancer, being a really good comedian. It's like it's a real thing.
I've never heard of this before. You're fascinating me right
If
now.
you look up like concerts, there's a lot of concerts where the dancers aren't actually dancing that well. They're just flipping their hair a lot back and forth, side to side. I think Glee actually did a whole episode on hairography, but that's what he's doing too. Like, oh, punchline, flip my hair, like move this, move that. And it makes you look more talented or like you're putting in a lot more effort than you actually are.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You're kind of blowing my mind a little bit right now because
Yep.
I've never heard of this before, but you've just unlocked some
Yeah.
things in my brain.
Look at
That's
the Eras Tour videos next time. All the
okay.
dancers' hair is down and like their fros are out because they want that movement like crazy.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, he just did like just a bottom of the, like it's not like the most terrible joke I've ever heard.
It was a
but it's
kicked
not.
in the nuts joke.
It's just a kick in the nuts joke,
Yeah, it
which
was
is like
just your run of the
whatever.
mill kicked in the
But
nuts.
also, like, if you think about it for 2 seconds, it's like, but don't like girls can't get hurt from doing bike stuff too. Like, I don't
Listen,
know. It
they
doesn't.
can, and I did, and
That's what I'm
it was
saying.
not a
It's
good time.
yeah. So it's like, why does that mean that you're a boy? Because like a girl can get hurt the same way. So like, what? How does that distinguish the genders? I don't know. I
Right.
don't know. It's not great. But anyway, like I said, that is the funniest that this video will ever get.
Yeah.
so
I could tell by like the sassy look he gave the audience. I was like, oh, that's as good as it
he
gets.
thought he was it, dude. He was so proud of that.
He's doing
You
something.
saw the flip, man. He
Yep.
was in it. He was feeling himself. But anyway, I think it's worse. That crowd way too long.
Yep.
Way too long for that
That's the
joke.
difference. And my sister thought it was funny. That is what is just so bizarre about the way that boys and girls are raised. The way they're raised, because my sister actually used to kick me there, right in the groin area.
See?
Like, because of
He's
Yeah.
because she used to kick me there in the groin. Yeah. Like he wants the sweat and the hair to like do the work for him.
I think you're right. Jay Victor, $2 reals, I think. or rupees. It's one of the two. It's one of the R's. I don't know what it is. I need to
I
know
need to
these.
Google it.
Did Brad time slip from the 70s into that stage? I said this before. I said this before when we looked at this same special. What is this man wearing? This was like 2004.
It looks like Dumb and
Like,
Dumber. It looks like when they show up to the party in Dumb and
it's
Dumber.
not. There was a fad in the 2000s of wearing clothes bigger than like what fit, right? That
It's
was
the
kind of a
pointy
thing.
collar that's given Scooby-Doo vibes.
It's the point collar. I refuse to believe that Brad Stine was like into fashion trends, and I think he just like just got a cheap suit. Like I
Oh, is
just
that Rand from Africa? Is that what that is?
Rand. Oh, that'd be cool.
Is
I don't
that-
know if Jay Victor could tell me. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Jay Victor has told me before, and I
Are
forgot.
you,
Sorry,
Jay
Jay
Victor? Are you in South Africa? Is that what that is?
Yes, please let me know, Jay Victor. But yeah, you're right. It's very silly. Somebody said it best. He looks like a bad leisure suit Larry. Why is it hard for
He
me to
looks
say?
like
But
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo watched Dumb and Dumber and got like inspiration.
yeah, it's true. It's not good.
We've got church people here. Yeah, I don't know what you
Yeah,
call
let's go back a second.
By the raised, because my sister actually used to kick me there, right in the groin area. Because we've got church people here. Yeah, I don't know what you call it. Loins. Okay, loins. That's in the Bible. Now what are you gonna do?
I will say this. For
Okay.
Christian comedy, that is peak. That is peak humor.
But
for
do you think?
Christian
Here's what I
comedy.
want to know. Do you think he actually had to think of that in the moment, or do you think that was prepped?
No, that's totally like
You
he
think-
planned that.
You think it's
That's
prepped?
written.
Okay, lame.
I bet we can find a bunch of
So-
videos of him telling that same joke that exact same way.
Probably. But yeah, I don't know. It's just.
And I bet he like wets his hair too before the show starts so that he always looks like sweaty.
I just think he's sweaty. I think he's a
Yeah.
sweaty guy.
Maybe he's like, never mind. I was going to say, I don't want to be demonetized.
Okay. Listen, we got demonetized last time because we played Brad Stine too. Well, the time before that when we played Brad Stine. That's when we started the Brad Stine hate cast because he specifically demonetized us. So
I was going to say, did he copyright strike you?
we did get copyright strike. I hope he doesn't do it again. If we do, Zod's gonna get really mad at me probably, but I'm doing it again. But that's why we're doing this now.
I hope he
While
hears
he's
everything
gone.
I'm saying about stand-up when he demonetizes this one.
Yeah. I hope Brad Stine watches his hate stuff. I really would like that.
I apologize for my sister kicked me in the loins.
Oh, he said it a third time in case you didn't
Yeah.
get
And
it.
you know what's weird? My mother taught her that.
Okay.
Brad's mom.
Okay, wait. No, look. Okay, rewind.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen to the audience, but then watch the audience.
Okay,
It's
so-
not the same audio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I apologize for my sister kicked me in the loins. And you know what's weird? My mother taught her that.
No, you're right. That's just them just like staring.
There's two
Yeah, it's-
open mouths.
I mean, like to be fair, I'm pretty
Bach
sure,
over here looks like he's having a terrible time.
to be fair, everybody does that, right? Like all stand up like usually has edited
I
like
never did that.
B-roll of
And that's why I'm
No?
not famous.
Okay.
That's why I
Well-
am not a famous comedian.
yeah, but yeah, they did take it at a point where and let's look at that audience, by the way. That is not the hippest crowd. You know what I mean? This is the Christian comedy crowd, I think.
Nobody else heard my Spock joke. That was upsetting.
I didn't hear your Spock
Oh,
joke.
I said Spock over there looks like he's having a terrible time.
Little Spock over here. Man, I swear to God, Sydney, I say this every time. We shouldn't make fun of people the way they look, but for some reason it always happens. But I'm okay with doing it with Brad Stine because I don't care.
So
but,
this guy should make fun of this guy because he looks like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't look like he's
No,
having a good time.
I don't want to make fun of whoever these people are. I will make fun of Brad Stine's mom. Fuck you, Brad Stine, because your son's a piece of shit. Holy shit. Like you should be fucking ashamed. He has actively been worse for the world than for the better. And I would say that to your face. I would. You're really bad. So I hope
Maybe that's why she taught her daughter to kick him in the nuts because she realized like what a monster she was raising and she didn't want him to procreate.
yeah. It's not
But
good.
also though, like imagine being his mom and having to listen to those jokes. Like she's been punished enough. She's been
Yeah.
like he comes over and probably reads her jokes all the time. Like she's been punished enough.
You're probably right.
Like she does not
I-
look like she's having a good time. She's like,
I still think something could have changed because the path that Brad Stine went on was a dark one for sure.
That is true.
And I don't like it.
What kind of a freak was my mother? Because what did they teach the boys? Never hit a girl, never hit a girl, never hit a girl.
I don't like that. I think that's scary. That's some horror movie stuff he just did right there. It's really bad.
And he's still talking about getting kicked in the nuts.
He's still talking about getting kicked, and we're still going on about this.
He's
That's another thing about Stine. That's another thing about Stine City. He loves just stretching out these jokes for as long as he can. That's another thing I've noticed about this guy. It's not good.
To the girl, if a boy bothers you, kick him where it counts.
Oh, stop.
Look at his face. Look
Stop.
at the face there.
What does that have to do with
Look at that.
Why are you doing this?
Should have made that the thumbnail. Look at that shit. Isn't that gross?
I don't even understand like what that has to do with what he's talking about.
Peak comedy, Sydney. Gender stuff. The difference
like
between men and women.
He saw the Wizard of Oz, and he's like, "Oh, that thing the lion did with his face, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that forever."
Yeah. He's doing the thing, but we're getting close. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting to the point too. Every single Stine comedy bit turns into like a morality lesson, to like a really unfunny morality lesson. It always turns into that way. It's always his political rants, like in disguise, which is probably why it's just not good. But
Manter the Spice Guy says this feels like a counterfeit Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
like
you can put comments on the
brand
screen, by
Jim
the way.
Carrey.
I believe you have the power. So if you see
I?
something funny, yeah, you should try clicking on it. Can you do it? Wait,
Yeah.
will it let you?
Okay. No, it won't let me. I can see
Oh,
him.
damn. Okay, never mind. All right. But yeah, we'll put it on there for you. Mantra the Spice Guy. This feels like counter for Jim Carrey. Yeah, he definitely gave off Jim Carrey vibes too last time. I think he is at least inspired by Jim Carrey. But
do you think this guy is like, just because I know a lot of comedians, do you think this guy is like secretly just really fucking mean and awful, and like he's gonna go backstage and like yell at his mom?
He's not
and, like,
secretly fucking mean. He's a fucking mean asshole. Like
is he?
Yeah, he's actively mean. He is.
How did I know that? How did I know that just seeing this bit?
Because he seems like an asshole, but also like his other bits too. He's just a mean motherfucker. We talked about his podcast. He has like this conservative Yeah, he has a podcast now because the conservative comedian to podcast pipeline is real. Okay,
that is
he is another person. But yeah, he has really mean opinion. You can guess what he thinks about gay people and trans people and stuff. It's about what you think. You know, he's all about it. So.
And like this face. God, please make that a sticker and like with the Zadanza like logo.
I don't want this man's face on any of our branding. Well, maybe actually, if Brad Stine gave me the license to his face, I'd probably make merch. I'd probably do it. We never had merch though. I don't know.
I just get the feeling that this guy like goes out and does like jokes and thinks he crushed it, and then like yells at his mom and like throws things and like screams at a barista and like treats women like shit, and then like goes back out and makes people laugh, and then.
People are saying don't do it. We probably shouldn't do it, but yeah, I wouldn't wear Brad Stine merch, so maybe I wouldn't subject that to other people.
I think we got somebody we need to ban in the chat.
I know, it's so sad. It's just a live chat, guys. Some of y'all need to chill.
To relax.
Ridiculous. All right, let's keep going.
What does this have to do with getting kicked in the nuts?
I was raised in a Christian home. That's what we call it. Kick 'em where it counts. Like they kept Gore 2 points.
In a Christian home, they taught you.
In a Christian home, children committing violent acts against each other.
But like he made it sound like Christians are the only ones that say like kick them where it counts, kick 'em where it hurts. I don't know. Yeah. That's weird.
I know.
And it hurts.
I get it.
Laugh every single time a guy gets kicked in the loins. That's a big funny joke.
Is it? Because
my sister was so smug about it too. So smug, not understanding anything about the physiology of a boy. Oh, it can't hurt so bad. Just like it feels like when we get hit in the chest. Yeah, it's just like when a girl gets hit in the chest.
Okay, but that hurts though.
In the chest. No.
That hurts though.
No, it's not like getting hit in a gland at all. It's an organ. You want to feel it, ladies? It's easy. Take your eyes, pull them out, hang them here, do this. There you go.
This is Brad Stine at his most erratic.
That's his real personality.
I've consumed some Brad Stine content. We've done it together here on the Zadanza stream. But I chose this clip because this is unhinged. This is like I don't know what's going on. This is like real crazy physical comedy that
I
is
think
just
he hates women.
that's
That's
part
like
of it.
what I'm
Yeah.
getting. That's what
Oh,
I'm getting from
100%.
this. Is it just started with his sister and like women laughing? I think he actually hates that. I think he
You're connect
literally hates that.
you're
That's
connecting
why
some
he's not
dots.
funny. Because he doesn't want women to laugh. Oh my god, it makes so much sense now. He's a genius, actually.
Mhm.
Wow. I
Mhm.
I
You're
can't
connecting
believe
some dots because we're almost 3 minutes into this and he's still talking about getting hurt in the
he's still
nuts.
like bitching about his sister. He's still
Yeah.
like, that fucking bitch 20 years ago, she fucking kicked me in the nuts and laughed, fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah, you're
like
so
I'm gonna
right.
like look at me,
Dude,
I'm up here and you're down there, you fucking bitch. Yeah, you
you're
think it's funny now, bitch?
you're so right. You're so right. I think there is some deep maybe it's stuff with his
I
mom.
I think he's like actually really upset with his mom and his sister, and he hates them both.
Yeah, but she's at the show, so you
Yeah,
can't hate
he
her that
wants her
much.
like she has to go. It's like some sick thing where he makes her watch it.
You're probably right. Man, it's a way to get back at him. You have to see my comedy, mom. That's how I do this. Yeah, I don't know. He's on something here. It's crazy.
It hurt. And I didn't
Did
understand
not know
it.
that.
Yeah.
And yet my religion teaches me that God said, let's reason together. You can ask me things. You can talk to me about things. And some things that you're not going to understand, I've done for a reason, for a purpose. And finally, it made sense to me. Finally, it all came clear to me that he made us differently that way to prove that the way that he created us was exactly like he said in the Bible. Because think about it. God's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. Every other organ in a boy's body, his heart, his liver, his spleen, protected by his rib cage. What went wrong? Nothing went wrong. The one stinking rib he took to make you was the one protecting my loins. That's what went wrong.
Funny. Isn't it so funny? Are you
So
laughing?
he
Sydney, are you
thinks
laughing? Wait, are you laughing though, Sydney? Do you think that's
I
funny?
get the feeling that this is a slow burn. I'm gonna be howling later.
Yeah, isn't that really good?
So he thinks that the rib that God took to make women came from his fucking balls.
I don't think yeah, so what are the implications there? I don't understand the joke, right? Like I don't understand what he's trying to say there either. Like
So
is it
he's saying the only organ not protected by your ribs is your nuts.
yeah.
And he makes the
Thinks
conclusion that the rib that were given to
I
women must have been the one
so
protecting his
that's the
nuts.
thing, right? Does he think that vaginas are protected by bones?
Does he
Does he
think that
think
it doesn't hurt to get kicked in the vagina?
that's the thing too. I don't know why guys like this talk about this because it's like it also hurts. I'm told anyway that it
It
also hurts
hurts.
to get hit there. So like,
Yeah,
obviously, one's a little bit more exposed, but
it
like it
hurts
doesn't mean it
really
doesn't
bad.
hurt.
It
Yeah,
hurts
like
bad. Yeah. So like I don't know if you remember when you were a kid and like you would hang onto the trampoline and like people would jump and like try to get you to let go of the trampoline. Did you ever do that?
and
We called
jumping.
it like where like you would lay on the trampoline and like hang on to the edge and people would like jump around you and try to basically like a bucking bronco type
Okay,
situation.
yeah, okay, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Anyways, I kicked myself in the nuts with my own heel during one of those
Oh my god.
and
Oh
it
no.
hurt. I bled
I
for days. And
I
I
thought
was
you
like
said you kicked
11.
yourself in the nuts, even
Well,
though
that's the best way I
you
could
know.
describe it. Like I kicked myself in the crotch and it
Yeah,
hurt and I was like bleeding. It hurt. It
yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
Anyway, it's probably
But
TMI. I'm sorry.
But no, it's fine. It's just like if Brad Stine can talk about it for like 3 minutes straight, you can talk about it for a little bit. That's
And you
so cool.
laughed more than you laughed at
I
Brad
did. That's
Stine when
funny
I was saying that.
because you didn't talk about it for 3 fucking minutes, and also like
Right.
you didn't turn into a Bible
And then my brother
about the
laughed.
majesty of God. Like I get it, he's doing a bit still at the end, but he still has to tie it into like Christianity, and it's
My
just it's
brother
not.
laughed and I'll never forgive him.
Yeah, I know. It's. By the way, do you hear this music at the end here? That reminds you of anything?
That's like
He's-
that that reminds me of like the ending of like all
Huh?
the shows on Dave Ramsey Network.
No, 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 no! Don't say that, City, because that's our talk. That's the Talk Heathen intro.
That
That-
is.
it
It
is.
sounds
That's
like
the
Dave
Talk. It's
Ramsey.
because we just know it's because it's the YouTube it's like a YouTube song that we got a license for. We just like edited it, but he's using the same thing for this clip.
I wonder if Ramsey Solutions uses the same one. Maybe they got licensed.
Maybe
for
they
it, too.
do actually. I don't know.
might.
But no, it's true. It's just, it's just what happens to use like the same content library, but it's just kind of funny that he
I
uses
like
the
the
same thing. It
song.
does make me think we should change it though. I never really cared for it to be quite frank with you on the internet here. It's just a fine. It's okay. It's serviceable, but
I
it's
like
not.
it. I just
Yeah.
don't think he went as hard as the song deserves.
No, because we definitely ours is better because ours
Yeah.
is edited better. for
Because like you
sure.
go
But-
hard. Like they go hard on that show. This show he didn't go hard at all. And the
Yeah.
song is like boom, like it's like bumping, you know.
Yeah, and we got some like vocal stuff in there. He doesn't do that. And obviously, and there's no way, by the way, that Brad Stine didn't edit this. He didn't make this little, end screen here. He's definitely paying people to. Not that that's. I mean, that's fine, right? I'm not hating on him for that, but it's just like when I look at Brad Stine's career, I just don't see creativity too much. I just see like Jim Carrey kind of hacky stuff, right?
And like
then also
anger.
anger and like
genuine anger.
this is every single one of his bits. It's always really like irrationally mad and the Bible.
Yeah,
That's the theme every time.
He's like, I'm angry. I hate something. I hate something. I hate something.
Yeah.
And the Bible teaches us that this is on purpose.
Being angry can be funny. Like George Carlin is a perfect example of that, right? Like obviously George Carlin, he's got his shtick, right? I'm not saying they're all the most amazing thing in the world, but like he had a big audience for a reason. Like, he was at least, I don't know, he at least thought his shit out ahead of time. This is like, I don't even want to listen to him. I don't know, but I do it anyway. I keep coming back, Sydney. So maybe there's something wrong with me.
I feel like
but
it's that whole masochism thing we were talking about earlier. Like,
yeah,
it's the only we can't feel unless we're feeling like pain and upset.
you know what? Maybe that's an unhealthy coping.
It just gets
thing
really
from
dark
us.
all of a sudden on
Well,
those
because you know
abuse
what, we maybe we're contributing to the problem. We're reacting to people on the internet. What makes us better than other?
Oh, I never said I was
You know.
better. I'm a piece
Yeah.
of shit. For real.
No, don't say that.
For
Don't
real.
say that. Yeah, but I've said this before though. I truly think Brad Stine's a terrible human being, and I have no feelings of remorse. Honestly, talking shit about him. He's so bad in his takes, and he's not that funny. So, and he's had a whole career to perfect his craft. So fuck it. I'll just.
So
I'll
Brad
say it,
Stine,
so.
I just Googled Brad Stine problematic to see if anything comes up. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I am
Here's a problem
usually
with
the
that, Sydney,
last-
though. Here's a problem. I tried doing that too. I don't think people care enough
I don't think they do.
to say anything either. I think that's another thing.
I don't
But
think they
anyway.
do. Nothing
Yeah.
came up except
Yeah.
bad jokes. But I'll say this. I am the last person to be like, that's a bad comedian, because comedy is subjective. But from a literal like writing perspective, that is not good content. Like from a literal structural content perspective, not good content. The audience wasn't laughing. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like I would never just be like, "Oh, he's not funny," and never explain it. I can break it down exactly why he's not funny, because one, he told the same bit the whole time. Two, he told the audience how they feel about it, and when they didn't get mad enough, he just kept getting madder about it. And then he started having like a conversation that might as well not even needed the audience about how much he hates his sister.
Yeah.
And then he crossed his eyes.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like whenever he's not getting the laughter he wants, he like crosses his eyes and like sticks his tongue out, and then people are like, "Oh, I get it. We're supposed to like laugh."
he's making a funny face. Oh, yeah. It's not natural. It's definitely not natural. At least not for me. I get it.
Yeah.
It's subjective, but like I almost
But this
regret
is subjectively bad.
I picked this one because he just makes these ridiculous faces and stuff, and it's just kind of crazy. But like, there's definitely worse bits than this. I should have next time, Sydney. Maybe we'll do another Stine off or a Stine segment, because his takes are so bad, and also his comedy's really bad. This is honestly like not even.
And he just seems like he could like talk to somebody. Maybe. His content seems like he's got some stuff to work out.
Zach said, "Did you get my question from Super Chat?" Sorry, Zach. Thank you for reminding me. I think I missed it earlier. Zach gave $5 and said, "Would you rather hell or getting married, regardless of gender you are, to Brad Stine or
They're the
eternity?"
same picture.
I'm gonna say that's the same thing.
They're the same. The pictures are the same.
That's tough. I would rather be annihilated in a lake of sulfur, I think.
Wow. And
Yeah.
sulfur smells like shit, so
Yeah.
that's saying something.
Yeah, I would.
So here's the thing. I
Yeah.
would be married to Brad Stine so that I could divorce Brad Stine and then just like go hard. Just be like, "Hey media,
Yeah.
here's his writing process. He doesn't write his own jokes. He
Oh,
like
you
he
call him
steals
out. You going to call out
Yeah.
tour. Okay.
He said you have to be married to him for eternity, but I'm pretty sure in some cultures I would just have to say like I divorced you 3 times and like that would count, right? I don't know.
I don't know. He
Or
did say sex was a reward for being in marriage with somebody. We did watch a video of him saying that. So
or what I
watch
would
out.
do is I would do kind of like the woman who used to work for Donald Trump and like her husband was like an outspoken Trump like dissenter. I would like stay married to him and like ruin his career while also staying his wife. I'd be
Nice.
like talking shit
Sick.
and like doing reaction videos and stuff while being married to him and like just making it real weird.
Sick. That's great. That I like that take. Yeah. If I was married to Brad Stine, it would go against his entire philosophy. So I don't even know how that would work. Honestly, I don't know how he'd justify it. It'd be
I don't
weird.
know. You could do like
Maybe
the
he'd
whole
be a
2
better
separate
person.
mansions thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what, Dan? Maybe he's just missing your love. Maybe that's why he's so upset.
Maybe Brad Stine just needs to, I don't know, celebrate Pride, right? Just
Yeah.
kind of meet some fellas, see what's going on. No, I don't want to be that guy. Say that, but
I just
he
think
does
he
need
needs
to.
your love,
He does
Dan.
need to meet actual gay people and realize that the shit he says is fucking harmful and gross.
I think he
So
just needs to like talk to his sister.
he does
I
need
think
to
he
talk
just
to
needs
his
to talk to her.
sister. He does need to talk to her. Because it doesn't sound like it's
It sounds
great.
like
I
they
think
have an
he's got some
unhealthy
pent-up stuff.
relationship.
He also
Like
needs
he's
to get a new
harboring
bike.
some
He
resentment.
needs to get a more comfortable bike, I think.
That's true.
And a new career.
You really never had a bike with like the banana seat?
No, I did. Wait, you mean is that the girl seat that he was saying?
So there's
Wait, I don't
like
even,
there's like 2
or
different kinds of
girl,
seats. Like
whatever.
some of the seats like divot
Yeah.
and then some of the seats like come up to like a point.
Yeah, I had the ones that come to a point.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think that's the one you're supposed to have, I think. They all hurt, to be honest.
Yeah.
I never had a comfortable bike.
I feel like there's better ways to design bikes, but I'm not an expert, so I don't know. I don't know. Brad Stine apparently is though. He knows all about it. And he's talking about people gender confusion. That was his whole thing. He was saying, look at this title. Why no one was confused about gender
And
when
like
they grew up.
that's not what the set is about.
No,
Like he
it's
did
not.
that so people will watch it, and then that's not at
Yeah.
all what the set was about.
Because gender issues are like hitting on the YouTube, right? And it's very crass, isn't it? Taking this bit from 04 or whatever, or the mid-aughts and
That's
trying
so
to plug it
strange.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. The title literally doesn't like, with the exception of maybe the first sentence, he never brings it
Yeah.
up again. He
Yeah,
never
he
calls
doesn't.
back to it.
He
Weird.
doesn't. Yeah, it's really stupid. But anyway, yeah, Sydney, that's all the torture I think I have for you. I'm not torturing you as bad as I did Elliot last week. I think a lot of people were like, you need to stop. You need to,
What did you
stop
do to
doing what you're
Elliot?
doing. I just made him watch Spirit Science stuff.
Oh, just made him watch.
He said he enjoyed it. But
But he's
Chad
also
said,
just like really nice, and he wouldn't tell you if he like logged off and cried afterward.
no, he loved it. He thought it was great. I believe him. I don't think he would tell me otherwise, but anyway, I had to do it because Zod's not gonna let me talk about that stuff anymore, probably. When
Alex says, "I've never slid off the bike seat and hit the frame." That's true. I've never done that.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that either. That's a very specific thing. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say. No more bits about bikes, I think. Yeah, City, that's our sedanza. That's our sedanza special. Thanks for coming back. Are you our first 2-time guest? Wait, no, that's not true. We
Oh.
had somebody else come back
Well,
as well.
so then
Yeah.
I need to come back a third time just to break that
Then
record.
you gotta come back a third time to do that. Mm-hmm.
love
I
it.
think that makes sense. Maybe I think you know what? Last time you were on, we did a little Zadanza piece theater, and I like that.
That was
bit.
fun.
I thought that was good. We did it like one other time, and I think we should probably do it again.
That was a lot of fun. That was good times.
That was a good time. So maybe we'll do that. Sydney, if people want to find you and your stuff, where should they go?
They should go to Sydney Davis Jr. on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere.com. I'm the same across the board. So if it's Sydney Davis Jr. and it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I really never tweet. So if you can follow me, that's okay. And I thank you, but you're not going to see anything interesting. You're also not going to see anything interesting in the ones I do update. But I have a podcast on my channel called Growing Up Fundy. And you can also find me at Red Caboose Park every Thursday this summer here in Nashville, Tennessee, shilling bracelets.
Yeah, bracelet hawking. So if you're into bracelets, Sydney's all about it. I'm surprised you gave your address and where you're going to be at, but I respect it. You trying to sell that merch,
Yeah, well, I'm actually not going to be there next Thursday, so.
Okay, well, now you're telling people your location again by admission, I think.
Didn't say that. I just said I'm not going to be at Red Caboose Park next Thursday.
It helps the people who are trying to triangulate you track you down, because now they got one thing they can cross off the list, I think.
I also wear a Fitbit, so I'm sure they can probably hack that too and just find me. I'm just
You're
saying.
Just giving people info, Sadie. You got to stop this.
I'm just saying. Been stalked before. I had survived. Here's what happens. People want to stalk me, and then they realize how fucking boring. There's not they're like, another episode of Judge Judy. I hate this, and then they get upset, right? So it's up to them. 16-year-old me decided I was going to go by my real name on the internet and never regret it. So here we are.
Yeah. So here we are, folks. Give Sydney a round of applause. Thanks so much for being on the show. Thank you, everybody who watched this week. Next week, Zod is coming back, so don't you worry your pretty little heads. Okay, we'll be back to normal. As far as normal for us goes. And thanks everybody to donate tonight. If you liked it and this is your first time watching, subscribing so you can know what happens in the future. But every Thursday night, catch it live if you haven't yet too, because it's always a fun experience with the chat. But yeah, let's wrap this puppy up. Do you got any we usually do a sign off, Sydney. Sign off before we play the outro and edited outro. I put something in the outro for you this time. So
you did?
I did, yeah.
Where do I find that?
Well, no, we're gonna play the outro in a second. But we
God.
gotta do a sign off. What's our sign off for today? Maybe be careful what bike you choose, or maybe something on these lines. Yeah, no, you got it. Come on, you got this.
Wait, hold
you
on.
Taught improv. Come on, Cindy, you can do this.
It's been I know. Let's see. My sign off is going to be. Can it be advice?
Sure, go ahead.
If you're going to make coffee, make sure you use the honey that comes from the ass of trans bees. Of transgender bees.
I like that. That's good.
That's extra good. Delicious that way.
Support trans bees.
Yes.
I don't know
at Red Caboose Park. Everything.
I don't know how that intersects with my veganism. But that's a quandary for another time. That's it for Sedanza tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue, la casa de la bachata. La, 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 la casa del merengue. La, 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 y la casa de la bachata.